Okay, could you tell us why you're here today?
We're here today on behalf of Guy Jarreau, a friend of mine from Napa Valley College who was murdered on December 11th, 2010 by the Vallejo Police. We're here to call for justice. We want the police department to come and make a statement. We want the paramedics to make a statement. We want the return of our video cameras and the videotapes that have recording of exactly what happened that night. We want justice to be done. We want a full investigation by the district attorney and the attorney general. We want justice.
I would really urge people, local residents of Vallejo, I live in Oakland myself, to talk with members of different unions here, the Public Workers Union, SEIU, AFSCME, Teamsters, and others, to why they're preoccupied with the, understandably, with the economic crisis here in Solano County, the always looming bankruptcy of Vallejo and so on, but to get involved in social issues like this. The demands for full disclosure of what happened with the killing of Guy Jarreau, demanding for an independent investigation, are completely just. And just because people are understandably worried about street crime doesn't mean that they want to tolerate crime by those in uniform. Thank you.
Woo! Woo! Longshoremen are in the house! No, they don't make it.
Okay, I was asked to speak on behalf of Solano County Peace and Freedom Party. My name's Joel Shore. I'm the chair of the Solano County Peace and Freedom Party, and we just started our chapter up here recently, and we've come together with the Justice for Guy Jarreau Committee, members of God First, Students for a Democratic Society, to have this press event today. And I'd just like to encourage people to check out third-party political parties in the area. In Vallejo, like Stan was just saying, we are facing a budget crisis, and the third parties are really the only ones I know that are saying that we need to tax the rich and the banks on all this financial mess that they've been causing, and not just to attack the public workers. And we understand there's been some problems with the police here, but we need to make sure that we're not placing the blame on people who really did nothing to cause all this financial crisis the state is in. And I don't want to take too much out of the cause. We're here today for Guy Jarreau, and we need a police accountability. We need a police commission here in Vallejo, and in order to fund that, we can't be spending too much money on an overpaid city manager that you know, is not going to get us out of anything really. So power to the people, and we're going to continue this fight. All right.
Woo! Woo! Hello, my name is Frank Running Horse. I'm out here today representing the Contra Costa County Peace and Freedom Party, which is in here in solidarity with Guy Jarreau, the NVC, DVC students, the Black Student Union of Napa Valley College. And I want to say, we've been protesting too many of these things. Guy Jarreau, Martin Cotton, Oscar Grant, Derek Jones, Richard Pocha, and others. What are the deadly weapons they had? A guy down in Long Beach had a water nozzle. Derek Jones had a marijuana scale. Guy Jarreau had a holstered weapon. A guy in a wheelchair had a knife in his hand, was surrounded by 8 cops and shot in the gut. A guy in a wheelchair, a naked man, was shot down in LA last week, completely naked. Didn't have any gun on him at all, no weapon. He was shot down dead. This is going on too much, too far. What we got is a policy where the police shoot first and ask questions later. They use deadly force when it's not necessary. They're murdering their own people. As our system goes into crisis, it seems like the police are getting more and more brutal with the people. This is not Egypt. This is not Tunisia, but maybe it needs to be. Okay? So we're here today. We're not going to take this anymore. We're standing up for justice. We're standing up for Guy Jarreau. Power to the people. Jim.
My name is James Costner. I'm a member of the Union for Honor and Justice. We stand in solidarity today with all these comrades and all these organizations and unions and leaders and community individuals who are very seriously concerned about the human rights violations that are ongoing daily. If you look at the police and what role they play in the United States, If you look at the 7-year-old girl in Detroit a few months back, shot while she was sleeping on her couch in the living room. If you look at Taisha Miller in Los Angeles, was shot and killed while she was sleeping in her car. If you look at Amadou Diallo, 41 shots, 19 hits. The police acknowledged afterwards that it was a mistaken identity. If you look at Abner Louima in New York City, he was sodomized by some of New York's finest inside the jail cell. If you look at Mark Garcia in San Francisco, he was killed by 7 cans of pepper spray by police. If you look at John Dine in Santa Cruz County, he was killed by Officer Conakary, 2 slugs. He had a plastic gun, and they knew him well, so they targeted him. You can go on and on and on. Oscar Grant, we all know of. Oscar Grant shook up the United States and shook up the world. How come? Because it was on video. But all these murders happen throughout. There's a book called Stolen Lives that documents 4,000 murders and names of individuals who were killed by the police in the mid-90s through the late 90s alone. It's been thousands since then. This has got to stop. The police are supposed to be the security, not the killers, not the oppressors, not the exploiters. They're supposed to be protecting the community. They're supposed to be ensuring that the community's safe. How can the community be safe if they're murdering people?
Together we stand. Community, labor, students of many races and faiths, through God first, together to support the call for an investigation into the incident of December 11, 2010, which has caused much grief, especially among the family and friends of Guy Jarreau Jr. together. When we all unite in solidarity across community lines, public pressure comes to bear, as can be seen in the history of the Bay Area. Vallejo is an extremely conservative, small, multicultural town. As long as I have been born and breathed in this part of the Bay Area, I have witnessed good values being overshadowed by greed for money and petty ignorance. And there's a peculiar odor of official corruption wherever you investigate. Well, corruption and ignorance breeds fear. And despite the savage words of the online triggers and real-life snipes, our community call for investigation and changes are based on a just and informed calling. This is how a good community seeks honest justice. If we stand up together and continue the call for justice through an investigation, the community demands will be met. Understand that this is a call for justice for the family of Jarreau, for the rehabilitation of the disgraced reputation of Guy Jarreau Jr. and his friends, and for a community free of fear. Someday. What happens in this town is already connected to what's happened in other communities in the Bay Area, in California, and nationwide. We are being watched. Guy Jarreau Jr., I heard, wanted to make his music and his ideas respected and well known. Well, he has dozens of people watching his back. He now has an audience in the thousands and eventually the millions. And even now, right now, Guy Jarreau Jr., this whole thing has a worldwide audience, small but connected to other communities and other organizations. This is only the beginning. The community will have its justice met. All this, the worldwide attention, if this is not a sign of a just and blessed cause, I don't know what is.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Julio. Good morning, my name's Julio. Soy estudiante en la Universidad de Napa. I'm a student at the Napa Valley College y soy miembro de Estudiantes por una Sociedad Democrática. I'm a member of Students for a Democratic Society, Napa Valley College. Estoy aquí hoy porque una injusticia contra un individuo es una injusticia contra todos nosotros. And I'm here today because an injustice to one person is an injustice to all of us.
Yeah!
And I want to tell a quick story about the day I met Guy. This was when, as part of the Napa Valley Dream Act Coalition, Latino, Hispanic, and other diverse groups of students came together for something called the Week of Dreams. And on a Wednesday, we decided to do something called Chalk Your Dreams. And that day I was chalking what my dreams were for a better society. And this is when somebody was walking by, which at the time was Guy, and at that time I didn't know who he was. And I asked him, what are your dreams? And he said, I am sorry, but I'm running late to class. So I told him, tell me your dreams. If you can't chalk your dreams right now, I will chalk them for you. Just tell me what your dream is. Because I want to encourage, along with everyone else, for everyone to chalk their dreams on this ground. And so he told me what his dream was, and that was for everybody to come together. And so I got that word and I chalked it on the ground, and with big bold letters, I wrote the word together. And then he left. And a week or so later, I found out that he had been shot and killed by the Vallejo Police. I would translate in Spanish. Estoy aquí porque conocí a Guy un día cuando latinos, chicanos y otros estudiantes luchamos por nuestros derechos, por el acta de los sueños. Y un día conocí a Guy y le pregunté cuáles eran sus sueños. Le pregunté cuál era su sueño, me dijo que el sueño de él era que todos nos uniéramos juntos. Y ese día lo conocí sin saber que era Guy, y después de unas semanas supe que fue asesinado por la policía de Vallejo. That's all I wanted to share why I'm here, which is because I believe that it is important for the Latino community to unite with the African American community, because we are groups that are repressed and our rights are violated, and we are affected by police brutality every day of our lives, directly or indirectly. That's all I have to say. Muchas gracias. Julio!